you playing with your dad still to me is one of the coolest things that I could have ever imagined. You know, of all the baseball highlights that you had in your career, where does that kind of rank in that experience?
It's definitely top three. I would say being able to put on a big league uniform for the first time would probably be number one.
Mhm.
Uh, Playing with your dad too, and probably, throughout my career, I've had quite a few other ones, memorable moments. But I got to say a couple things to my dad that you've probably heard growing up. I told him one day, for 17 years, you protected me. Now I get to protect you because he batted second, I batted third. And my overall favorite is when he got to Seattle, he actually lived with me. And I said, "Well, you live in my house, you live by my rules."
How'd he take that answer?
He actually moved out a week later. Yeah. But my mom thought it was great. I mean, it was just like, it was finally one of those moments where I was like, yes, I got to say something that he's always said to me.
That is actually one of my favorite stories I've ever heard, is that you get to flip the script and in the setting of it, and
Yeah.
a week later. See, like, and you
Yeah.
can't even make that up, by the way.
N-
And I
No,
thought
it
you
was kind of funny.
yeah, go ahead.
It was kind of funny because, I said, look, man, I got something to say and you may not like it, but while you live at my house, you got to live by my rules. And my mom was on the couch and she just fell out laughing. And he had that look like, I'm your dad. And I was like, man, hey. But
Yeah.
him moving out, I felt bad, but I really did because I was like, I really enjoyed like the free lunches, the free dinners, unless my mom showed up. Then, the rides to the ballpark. The rides to the ballpark were pretty cool. Because it was one of those things where, we got to talk as, father and son.
Yeah.
And then when he got to the ballpark, it was now teammates. And he made sure that that was the one thing that he said, when he got over there, he actually called me and said, "Hey, I got an opportunity. And I want and I want you to decide. I can either retire or the Mariners called and said, come finish out the year with us." And he said, "But I'm gonna let you decide because it is your team." And I said, "Come on." And he said, "Okay." And that was one of the things that, I'll never forget. He was like, "This is your team. And, if you want me to play, I will. If not, I'll go ahead and retire." And what people don't know, and I try to explain to other people, is they complain about, LeBron should do this, Bronny should do this, Bronny should do that. I learned so much more by being able to sit on the bench and listen to my dad explain things as I'm going on. I mean, because if you look at, I hit 22 home runs that year, 22 the following year, then I hit 27, and then I hit 45. But each year, my batting average went up, from I think I hit 264, 300, 327. I started learning to do things, what I can do by sitting there for the 6 weeks watching my dad set up pitchers, do certain things, to get pitches that he could hit. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that. But you know, people think that you gotta play all the time to really understand the game. You're not gonna get better. Now, I'm not saying not play, but
Mhm.
being in a conversation where you may be able to see something where on the field you wouldn't have seen it can go a long way.